Ladies and gentlemen, that I promise you that there are no single speaker today, but I already taking too much to talk. I'm very sorry. So we give the time. You are free all to talk. I will be moderating. We talk about coffee now. You can share on all your vision or whatever it is. Okay. But now allow me to give special time for our guest, to Mr. Tito first. You can introduce yourself. What you do in coffee? What is your vision? What is your expecting from this new opportunity from Indonesia? And then we talk with the Meriti, okay? And we have here Mr. Aji from Indonesian Embassy. Okay, thank you. Mr. Tito, please share your talk and what you do in coffee.
Thank you very much, Katana, for all of those who have been able to be online today. It's a pleasure. And what I do is do trade in the coffee business. And some of it is just the growing of the coffee and sending it out to the government facilities to be able to be processed. Now, what I like to envision in the coffee business is to have, for example, we say in the Kenyan market, I would like to see how the coffee gets exported outside and enjoyed by other nations. But notwithstanding, I believe from where we stand as the best word to say is the continent in terms of Kenya, and where we are based in Nairobi, we like to consider us as the hub of the whole of Africa. So in that way, it would be a very good idea, and it's good that this kind of function is taking place to enable us to be able to create some kind of fusion between the different nations, because here in Nairobi we do have a lot of multicultural things, because we have the big organizations, for example, the international organizations, which are the United Nations. We have a lot of embassies here, so we're well positioned to be able to create a very big hub for where we can all connect.
Okay, Mr. Tito, about your coffee shop, can you share some information about? You have the coffee shop, isn't it?
Yes, there is one coffee shop where we actually show people how the coffee looks. So we have actually planted some coffee trees right outside the coffee shop.
Arabica or Robusta?
For this one, it's the Arabica.
The Arabica in
yes.
Kenya.
Yes. So, because when we do find people drinking the coffee, at times, to be honest, they don't know how the coffee bean looks. They've only seen pictures or how it is on a tree. So
say it again. They don't know the coffee.
No, I'm saying there are some people who don't know how the coffee looks.
Oh, you mean your customer?
Yes.
Your customer.
Yes.
They don't know how the coffee looks, but they're purchasing it.
Yes, they know how to drink it, but they don't know how it looks when it's on a tree and when it's shelled.
Was it in the tree, on the shell, or maybe on the ground like a potato?
Yes. So what there is, right before you enter the coffee shop, there are some trees that show you the coffee bean. And then when you walk into the coffee shop, on one end, you see the different kinds, the light roast, medium, dark roast. And we give people at times the opportunity to roast their own coffee there. And then
roast their own coffee in your coffee shop?
Yes.
Oh, that's a very good experience.
Yes, we have to give that experience so that by the time they're drinking the coffee, they can actually be able to enjoy what they have made themselves.
That's very good. In how many years you offering this experience selling?
It has been how many years? 3 years.
3 years.
3.5 years, yes.
Mr. Tito, if I'm not mistaken, my short question, how many percent Kenyan drink coffee compared to drinking tea?
Wow, the percentage I can't really tell,
just wild guess.
But it is high.
It is high, right? Compared to,
yes.
Let's say, compared to Nigeria. Nigeria is a tea culture, right?
So here we do have both of them.
You
but
both,
you find a lot of people also drinking coffee.
Because of the weather also, and I know Kenyan coffee. I love some Kenyan coffee also.
Yes, yes.
So you have the you own the coffee shop, and you already on the business of experience in selling, right? So
yes.
they are visiting your coffee shop and try to roast it, right?
Yes.
Wow. So you always purchase a green bean or roasted bean?
Well, for that one, I don't really purchase. I actually grow it.
You sell only from the one who you grow it.
Yes.
Wow, single origin.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So in your coffee shop, all the bean is coming from your plantation, right?
Yes.
That's the point. Wow.
Yes.
But okay. Do you what do you think if Indonesian come and join with you? You can sell also. You can purchase also. So there are variety of the coffee bean at your coffee shop.
Yes, that was actually the final concept, is to be able to have coffee from different places. Yes.
Different places. Sorry. Yeah. Say it again. I really need to tell audience this very wonderful concept with you, Mr. Tito. Please tell again. What is your future concept? You do it for 3 years, right? So I mean,
yes.
If you're business owners, you have to be another. You cannot do the same song for 3 years for sure. You have enough to play a different song, right? What is your vision?
Yes. My vision is to have coffee from other places.
From other places.
Yes.
Okay, so it will meet our next move to introduce you many Indonesian coffee.
It will, yes, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Tito, how many hectares you have? I'm sorry if you can answer. If you're not, no problem. How many hectares you have for the farm?
The coffee is growing on 5 hectares.
5 hectares. It's a big one. Compared to Indonesian, it's a big one because some Indonesian farmer will have only less than 2 or maybe less than 1 hectare. Mr. Tito,
yes.
Allow me to elaborate and let the others audience listen to our conversation, and maybe there will be a benefit for our friends. Mr. Tito, I really love your concept that you already did for 3 years. That somebody roasting
yes.
on your coffee shop. I know that concept also happened in some places, not in, but I'm surprised it happened in Kenya. Experience selling, okay, experiencing selling.
Yes.
In Indonesia, I don't have in mind that happened in Jakarta yet, even though the young men now love to be barista course, but not in my mind. Okay, so my point is, and now then you have a situation that you're taking care, very good one. The situation is these customers doesn't know whether the coffee is a bean or from the tree or from the body of the tree, and you are jumping to do experiencing that they do the roasting. Actually, last 1 year I visited one Indonesian place which is coffee centralized there. They said, Pak Iskandar, when you talk about export, our farm is only 0.8 acre. We cannot even fulfill 1 container.
Yes.
So how can we talk about export? Then I said, because I said I don't want to sell 1 container, because the coffee shop will not need 1 container.
Yes.
And I said, you have a very good place. Why don't you guys, your and others villagers, I mean, the same your fellow villagers to do tourism. Meaning tourism means this guy, the coffee customers, invite them to visit your farm and harvest at your farm. Do harvesting at your farm. Mr. Tito, you do it in different way, do the roasting at your coffee shop. You got a point, right? So experiencing selling is a very attractive in selling, and especially for young men, young generation, and maybe also the adult, because now you see now the tourism, they will go to artificial theme park, or you go to the artificial, meaning like, let's say you go to San Francisco, you go to Las Vegas, it's artificial, okay? And then Disneyland, you go to artificial. You go to Serengeti, you go to Masai Mara, you can see the land, okay? I mean the beautiful land. And the other tourism, you have the experiencing. So I said in coffee, we're supposed to can get it another idea, another customers benefits to experiencing to do harvesting in the coffee plantation. So, ladies and gentlemen, just the conversation with me, with Mr. Tito. How do you think, Mr. Tito? Because I know that Nairobi is I think the top list of European to go for vacation, right?
Yes.
How do you think about that? If we change, if we change the program, the Nairobian can visit, let's say here in kampungnya Pak Anto, di mana di Medan to harvesting a coffee, in Central Java to harvesting a coffee. How do you think about that idea? Is it will work for you?
Maybe I should interject there, Mr. Isna.
Please, Mrs. Meriti.
Now, my name is Mrs. Meriti, as you've mentioned. I've been in tourism for the last 30 so years.
You've been in tourism for the last 30 years? Oh my goodness.
2 years. And I'm quite experienced in the tourism industry here in Kenya and internationally. Now, here in Kenya, you know, mostly people know so much about tea. And the Ministry of Tourism here in Kenya had a concept that when we bring tourists here, we give them that experience like Tito is talking about, of how we harvest tea, how it is prepared, and how then it is taken to the market. That is from the farm to the table. Then,
Madam Meriti, you're muted. Okay, please again.
For a very long time, we managed to capture a lot of tourists who are really interested in the coffee they take in the hotel. Where is it planted? How is it prepared? And we used to have groups and groups of tourists going to the coffee farm near Nairobi, to the tea farm near Nairobi, where they could get that. So that is when now, with the Tito, we thought it's better also now to introduce coffee the way he's talking about that concept, because people just see coffee on their cups, but they don't have the experience. And then because once you taste that coffee and you see how it is prepared, when you go back home, you are able now to influence other people to now thinking about your coffee. And that is how now it is trying to get outside from Nairobi to other places, maybe Jakarta and other. But the problem we have here so much about the coffee is people really don't understand, as you said, you're training baristas on how they can be able to prepare.
The manpower, Madam Meriti, the manpower to make a standardized coffee.
Yes, to make the standard coffee. And also it is quite an expensive infrastructure that one puts up for people really to have that experience. Because first of all, you have to prepare your place to be standard, the world standard. And that is where now we find when we start this kind of business, you need a lot of input, money-wise, equipment, and all that. And as we were thinking through this, and as I consulted Tito, I like your concept of trying to bring the Indonesian coffee here to Kenya, and also working with the existing people who have got coffee shops, like one Tito is talking about, because this will also opens the market. As you see now, the world has changed, as you're saying. You can't bring a whole containers of coffee, but you can start the way you introduce people now to what coffee you have. And then out of that, you people will taste, and also and then it will be expand the market. And this is why we are saying what you are bringing here now is a very, very beautiful concept. If we at all now being able now to bring ourselves also together with your people, and we see what collaboration we can have, what investments you need just to maybe think about, who would like to come and invest in that kind of concept. And you find that coffee drinking is only concentrated in Nairobi. When you go out to the other place.
Wait. You said the coffee drinking in Kenya only concentrated in Nairobi?
So much concentrated in Nairobi.
So much concentrated in Nairobi.
Yes, and when you see the devolution now, which is now very anchored in Kenya, nobody has really thought of expanding the coffee drinking to the other parts of Kenya. You find like if you go to Meru, where we come from, and other places, they always ask you for tea.
Madam Betty, wait. As what discussed with Patito, that we can say that I know that in percentage, Kenya compared to Nigeria, you have more percentage of coffee business, coffee drinker, okay? But I know that the root cultures of Kenya still the root culture is British, okay? British tea.
Tea, yes.
So, but when it's expecting around 40% to 40% to 50%, and the Madam Meriti is saying is about almost in Nairobi only.
Mostly in Nairobi, and you find that the tea in Kenya is grown as a cash crop.
Yes.
So most like I was educated on coffee and tea, that it's a cash crop here, and it is controlled.
Madam Meriti, if you say it mostly in Nairobi for this particular mapping of the data, I can guess the customers is young generation. Am I correct?
It is young generation.
Yes.
More background with the international.
I mean the coffee drinker in Kenya, the growth is in the young generation, isn't it?
The young generation. Kenya has got the hub of all the international offices. So we have a lot of movement here, people just like it. And it is maybe the way it was introduced into Kenya, into the market, because we used to have very good coffee shops for coffee in Kenya, which now has sort of slowed down, because most of the coffee that is created in Kenya, people are looking for market outside Kenya because it sells very well outside Kenya. So there's very little that is left now for the coffee people who are business people and all that. And you find the grading also is different, because the coffee is given out in shops is not the grade. It is not now the second or third grade, because people really are sure of the coffee.
Madam Meriti, sorry, your line is something on off. You said the grade is A, B, or C?
Most of the coffee grade A is for export.
The producer mostly for export, okay?
Yes, because it is
local consumption?
Market.
Local consumption?
Local consumption, now you take the second or third grade.
Second or third. But Mr. Tito, I don't think your coffee shop is B grade, right?
No, it's
different.
Different.
No.
It's constant.
It will be different. Tito, yeah, I think A grade, right?
Yeah.
It is A.
It is A grade, right? So there are different market, like Madam Meriti, right? There are different market in Kenya itself. It's very good. It's very good information. Very good information that number one, the coffee percentage is I know it's compared to another British, okay, British countries, Kenya more, okay, British colonized, I mean Kenya more. Number one. Number two, it concentrated in Nairobi. I said if concentrated in Nairobi, I can say it's a young generation, immigrant generation. I mean, town, city guy, okay, city boys, city girls generation, and on the A class, right, Mr. Tito?
Yeah, because if you look at our farmers of coffee here, they just grow the coffee now, take it to the Kenyan factories, which are owned by associations, and they sell it for export.
Yes,
so,
to which country and Kenyan export the coffee now?
All over.
All over. It's green bean, right?
Yes, the green bean, yes.
How about the roasted bean? Have Kenya export roasted bean?
We have to get that statistics from the Ministry of Agriculture. Maybe Tito, you know about the roasted bean?
Does Kenya export the roasted bean?
No, we do the green bean for safety purposes.
Bean. And no, Tito, sorry, who do roasting it at your coffee shop? Locals or expatriate?
The coffee shop, it's local.
No, the one who do the roasting is local.
Yes.
I see. But you have enough people to do roasting. If let's say if you want to open a new coffee shop somewhere else, do you have enough manpower to do roasting?
Yes. For that one, because the way the models are set up, we actually have the places where you can go and give in your inputs for the bean to be shelled and to be roasted. And then from there it's packed, and then you just live with it. So it's almost like a service that is being offered.
I see.